Let's talk about diagnostic overshadowing, a big scary term that's actually a pretty simple idea. I'm Katie, education consultant, former special education teacher, and let's talk about it. Diagnostic overshadowing happens when a person already has a diagnosis, and the diagnosis can cause professionals to either misattribute, ignore, or minimize other symptoms, right? So instead of asking what else could be going on here, the assumption becomes it's just a diagnosis, right? And the concept comes out of medical and mental health research, and is especially well documented in autism, intellectual disability, ADHD, and other mental health diagnoses. What does diagnostic overshadowing look like in real life? Let's look at a few potential examples. So a child with autism reports pain and it's dismissed as sensory behavior. Or a student with ADHD struggles academically and no one stops to test for a learning disability. Or a disabled student shows new behaviors and the team stops investigating once they point to the diagnosis. So what happens here is oftentimes once that first diagnosis is on the charts, curiosity often stops. And when curiosity stops, that can be detrimental. I cannot overstate the importance of curiosity. Diagnostic overshadowing isn't just frustrating. It can be harmful, and it can lead to missed medical conditions and delayed or denied services, or inappropriate educational placements, or emotional harm due to not being believed or just because of assumptions, right? And precision really does matter here. And the research shows that diagnostic overshadowing does lead to worse outcomes and increased risk. And it's not the only cause of negative outcomes, of course, but the risk is real. And I just want to pause here to emphasize girls and autism. And there's many reasons that girls with autism are often missed. And one of those reasons can be diagnostic overshadowing. For example, a girl has been diagnosed with anxiety, and she has learned to mask certain behaviors that she has when she's frustrated, or her dislike of certain sensory stimuli. And she's missed, and anything else is just her anxiety. Of course, she may not have autism, but the curiosity is gone, right? So we're not even considering anything else. In schools, diagnostic overshadowing might sound like that's just part of their disability, or we already know why they struggle, or this is expected given their diagnosis. And here, IDEA can really help us out because it requires schools to evaluate in all areas of suspected disability, not proven disability, suspected disability, to consider co-occurring conditions and base services on educational impact, not just labels, okay? So, of course, IDEA isn't using the term diagnostic overshadowing, but failure to evaluate or consider additional needs can violate IDEA requirement. Parents, let's look at some things that you can actually do if you suspect that diagnostic overshadowing might be an issue. So the first thing we want to do is separate the diagnosis from the concern. And when you are raising an issue, explicitly name that distinction. And this is something you always want to keep in mind. You could say something like, I understand that my child has blank, but I'm concerned about blank specifically. An example might be, I understand that my daughter has ADHD, but I'm specifically concerned about her ability to stay on task during independent reading time. So, Katie, well, independent work is often a struggle for kids with ADHD. Absolutely correct. And that's where diagnostic overshadowing can become an issue. So what if it's not ADHD? What if we stay curious and we consider it could possibly be instructional mismatch, sensory issues, skill gaps, emotional factors, scheduling issues. All of those are potential problems. Something else we can do is ask for data, not explanations. Overshadowing thrives in vague language, right? Ask what data shows that this is solely based on their diagnosis, or ask what assessments were used to rule out other causes. Schools must rely on data, not assumptions. A third thing we can do as parents is request evaluations in writing. And that applies to everything that you are going to do in your child's special education journey. Everything needs to be in writing. Things that are discussed verbally are easy to dismiss, okay? So you can use language like, I'm formally requesting an evaluation in the area of based on ongoing concerns that are not fully explained by my child's existing diagnosis. A fourth practical step is document patterns, not just incidences. So a one-off incident can be very easy to dismiss. Patterns are harder to ignore, and they should be. Keep a very, very simple log. It could be a voice note, a text to yourself, anything. Date, what happened, and how did it impact your kiddo's learning or health or functioning. You absolutely do not need perfect records. Consistency matters more than detail at this point. A fifth practical action to keep in mind is use the right framing. Avoid arguing about the diagnosis itself. And this is going to tie back to that first thing that we talked about. Instead, we want to anchor everything on impact. Remember that, the impact to access to learning, safety, regression, increased support needs. Schools are not required to respond to opinions. They are required to respond to impact. A sixth practical action that we can consider is escalating strategically if needed. And that just means if the school team continues dismissing your concerns, you can request for a PWN, prior written notice. You can request an independent education evaluation if appropriate, and bring a consultant or an advocate with you. You may be extremely surprised at how this can change the game like that. But parents, you have the right to these protections, and how they're implemented is going to vary state by state. But more than procedure, we're focused more on strategy. Strategy matters more than ever right now in advocating effectively for your kiddo in special education. And when we work together, I do coach you on highly effective strategies in collaborating with school teams. It is not always easy. It's not always intuitive. It can be emotional, but they are tried and true. Diagnostic overshadowing isn't about blame. It isn't about bad parenting. It isn't about bad professionals. It's about when systems get comfortable with a label and stop there. Diagnoses should open doors, not stop at questioning, right? And the better questions you ask, the more effective of an advocate you're going to be for your kiddo. I am Katie, education consultant, former special education teacher, founder of The Connected Student. If you have questions, if you think you need support, if you're not sure, if you're a little bit lost in the sauce, reach out to me, shoot me an email, or connect with me through the Connected Student website. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks.